tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, so I'm into this video. Welcome to the after show for Rebel. My name is Ava Hill, and you can find me on Instagram at the Ava Hill. And I'm gonna let my panel and my two guests, who I have not introduced yet, it's kind of a secret, for the next 2 minutes. We're gonna vibe out to this. So how old was I when this came out? Are we not gonna throw any? We're gonna throw any ages under the bus.
No.
Yes, so Lynneisha.
Hey
Tell
guys,
me where they can find you.
I'm Lynneisha. You guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33.
So guys, you can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram on DeAnJilo. That's DeAnJilo.
DeAnJilo? No DeAnJilo today?
We had to put that on the side.
Oh, okay.
Why?
For the off season.
All right.
Yeah.
Off
When
season?
the money not coming in right, then we'll do DeAnJilo.
Oh, you ain't doing it right then. The money's not coming in.
Right,
Right
so
now,
when is
I'm
your
good.
wait?
I'm
When is
good
your
right
peak
now.
season though?
Well, summer's coming. Isn't summer peak?
Got that?
You got,
Do you
like,
got that summer body?
That's what, huh?
Wow.
What?
That
summer
sure
body?
gonna be a problem.
Okay.
My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. Keep those live chats coming, the tweets, all that good stuff. We really, really appreciate it.
All right, so now that my panel has introduced themselves, we have two amazing special guests, Danielle Truitt and Randy Huggins.
Hey, y'all.
Randy is the executive producer, and Danielle, of course, she's Rebel on the show. Thank you guys so much for coming. Danielle, you've been before, so we really appreciate you coming for a second time. And Randy, thank you for making that trip.
All day.
That's a trip.
Oh,
That's a trip. So thank you so much for coming. Randy provided us with drinks. Now we got it going.
Yeah.
Got the bar. We got the ice. He brought ice, y'all. He brought ice.
Just want to take note of Danielle's outfit. She came
Yes.
on point the last time, and I was driving. I was like, man, I need to come correct because I can't just come in sweats. I need to stop home real quick because I know she's gonna come even like
Shutting
so.
it down.
Your summer 17
That's
goals.
cute.
You are.
Yes.
You're so no, the first time I saw you, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was popping. I was like, no, I need to go
are
extra
popping.
hard.
You popping. All y'all popping.
Oh, well,
Everybody
thank you.
popping.
Everyone's popping.
She's right.
All
Black
right.
girl magic.
It's like, I know I'm popping.
Right. He's like, I don't need
You're
a
right.
DeAnJilo doesn't need a reminder that he's popping.
Hey, we need some more Ciroc. What is Ciroc?
Okay, you're okay.
I'm
You
okay.
DeAnJilo wants more
There's a little bit
Ciroc.
more, too much juice in mine. I need that.
Oh, okay. So while we're restocking that, the
yours
Ciroc is right here.
Okay. It's okay.
you
I'll
can
live.
figure it
Figure it out.
We'll have some
So,
after.
Yes.
so while DeAnJilo's figuring out his Ciroc supply, let's go on and get into the show.
Can I ask Danielle a question?
You can
before we-
totally ask her whatever you would like.
It was like a couple of episodes before. So since I know that you're like a devout Christian, I wanted to know what it was like for you to do the episode that was like in depth about homosexuality in church.
It was great. Well, the episode is awesome. I
Yeah.
think it's something that needs to be talked about in the world and in the black community. In the black community in general,
Especially.
like, there's not as much acceptance and tolerance, and a lot of people say, you'll let people, or you'll let gay people direct the choir, but then you'll shun them. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you'll use
It's like
them,
breeding.
but then, So I thought it was great that our writers, incorporated that story, and it wasn't a story about homosexuality that you see on a lot of shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my concern, I guess, as a Christian, when I was reading, I was like, oh, I don't want to give the impression that all Christians behave
This way.
that way,
Right.
because they don't. You know what I mean? I'm a Christian. I don't behave that way. I don't behave the way some of the Christians on the show in that church did. But I think there is a difference between being a Christ follower and being a religious person.
Preach.
Just a little
Oh,
bit.
thank you.
Yeah.
A religious person
There you
who
go,
is
yeah.
like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like there's stuff in your life that is you don't need to be telling nobody what to do. Like
Yes.
the main goal is love. That's the main goal, and I think the writers did an excellent job of, like, at the end of the episode where the father, who was kind of demonized at first, like, oh, he's mean, he's hard, his son didn't feel open to talk to him, but then you see him be like, no, like, that's my son, like,
Yeah.
I would have loved him, anyway. So I thought it was a great mix of perspectives, and I think it's always great when we're able to shed light on a community that is being what's the word? Yeah, ostracized. And the most important thing is is love. And I was tweeting, during the episode, and I was just like, God loves us all. So if love is ever void, then you're not doing the work of the Lord.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yes.
You're just not. And then the other thing I loved is that I am a Christian, but Rebel is not. And so I thought that was fun. As an actor, it was fun to sit there and be like, I'm mad at God. Like, God, me and God ain't, like, I ain't fooling with God right now.
We're not there.
Knowing that that's not really me and, how I feel. But I can relate to people who have been through so much and they just want some kind of answer and they're not getting it, So it was great.
No,
each episode we try, they're designed to reveal more about our characters. And that specific episode was dealing with Rebel spirituality. And there was a line in there. This is the only time Danielle and I got into like a little tiff. It was a line in there where she's like, I don't know if I believe in God anymore. And that line got cut for timing purposes. But
but I was like, what? Like, I was mad. I was actually mad. I wasn't there. I called Randy. I was like, Randy, I went to editing. What did they do to that scene? Like, why did they cut that? Like,
40 minutes
and
and 30 seconds.
That's his answer all the time. 40 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I think it's very important.
Yeah,
to show
because
perspectives.
when you mentioned that Rebel isn't a Christian, my mind immediately went to, wait, did she elaborate on that during the show? Because she kind of...
Yeah, she just said, do you
Didn't,
believe in
but-
God? I mean, when her and Mac were talking, she was just like,
she
do you
seems
believe
more
in God?
spiritual.
Well, she was asking him, do you believe in God? Because I'm having a hard time because my
I remember
dad is
that.
an alcoholic.
Mom
Malik,
died.
Everything's
Well-
going on,
It
Right.
all stems from she lost her mother at a young age.
Right.
And I wouldn't even
Right.
say she's not a Christian. It's just
Right.
that
She's
loss
struggling.
Right.
caused her to
She's
step
right.
away.
Right. Which is totally understandable. I mean, I feel like everyone goes through that, when they're going through a hard time in their life and they're like, wait, if God is God, then why am I going through this
Yeah.
situation?
Right.
So...
But you bring up a very interesting point because I think thematically the theme of our show, the universal theme of the first season, is grief.
Yeah.
And that's something that we all can, identify with.
Yeah.
Because if you, like Rebel's having a hard time dealing with her grief, her dad's having a hard time. And I think if you don't deal with grief, it'll affect you as well as everyone around you.
That's very true.
Yeah, that is very true. And I also respect Rebel, though, because somehow she has still managed to get herself together to get to the bottom of Malik and what happened to him. I don't know if I could have, I probably would have had to not only take a time out from my career, because that is obviously affiliated with Malik, but I just would have to just take a minute in general just to kind of construct myself. And not only is Rebel doing what she has to do, but she's still working with Mac, which is like...
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I definitely want to speak on that.
I would love to hear. I would love to hear y'all's perspective because we are split on Team TJ. Or
are we? Oh.
Do you mind?
Well, I know you ain't team. Ava.
But you know what?
Ava.
I wanted to be so badly.
She did.
I was pulling. I was
She
rooting
was.
for him. When he kind of maneuvered himself back into your house, I was like, oh, okay, this is it. Like, they're gonna make it work. And then when he took your identity,
But when
you know,
he beat his ass
but
at
once
the end of the
someone
movie,
listen,
I was like, let's go.
But it all goes to show you, though, once someone shows you who they are, you believe them.
He's a fighter.
And that's what it is.
Or a quitter.
You know?
So, or a quitter, yeah.
quitter. Or a
So,
quitter.
personally, obviously, you can't speak for Rebel, but like, and you as well. Like, how do you feel about it?
Randy?
Both of you, like, what's your opinion on the
Are you
whole?
tired of just being the man on the panel?
No, I just want everybody's opinion out there. I would love. I think it's
'cause
really
you know
good.
what? We never
Rebel
got
and
yours.
TJ?
We got Angela's,
Right.
also known as China, but
Right,
we never
that's
got
why
yours.
yeah, we got her on here. Let's get it. Let's get that.
Let's get it.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Not Rebel.
Well, I think the thing with Mac and Rebel is, and we talked about this a lot. I think on the surface, when you're watching, you see him freaking out. You see him shoot at Malik, and which jump starts. You know, if he would have never shot at him, she would have never shot him. The
Right.
police would have
Domino
never showed
effect.
up. Right. So we can blame Mac, for that.
We do.
But at the end, right, we do, yes. But at the end of the day, they have been partners for 3 years. Okay, when you're for instance, because you're in the theater. We talked about this kind of last time. When you work with someone every day, I feel so close to these people.
They start looking
because
attractive.
we worked together for 5 months. Like every single day, I saw these people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
And
to
so-
add on just a
yes.
bit, they're in life and death situations
Right.
every day. They're covering each other's back.
Right. So he's
So-
had my back more times than he
So that's
hasn't.
an extra layer of trust, like
Absolutely.
an extra
Right.
bond.
Absolutely.
So it's easy to say, oh, you did something to me once that was
Totally foul.
completely, it was foul, it was catastrophic. However, there's years of a built-up
So
relationship.
that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, there's years of a build. So what it is, sometimes it's not even that Rebel wants to forgive him. It's almost like
It's innate.
it's like it's innate. It's
Muscle
something
memory.
that's like, and the truth of the matter is, he won't go away.
Because he likes her.
He won't go away.
Because he likes her.
He's been there for her more than her dad has been this whole series.
And the way he looks into her eyes in the scene, I mean, come on, he's, like, you know, those brown, aren't they brown?
Yeah, 100%.
He loves some Rebel now.
That's
she
real.
married.
The other thing that he said,
And
the other thing that he said in there,
2017. People don't care. People
People
don't respect marriages anymore. I mean, I respect a marriage, but really, 2017, people don't be like, oh, you're married. Let me step back. But anyway.
The other thing that he said in there, he said, you remember that tweaker stabbed me in Sobrante Park. She was her partner there. So just go with it. What if that was her fault that he got stabbed? She was covering his back. So there's some residual guilt there as well. Like, wow, I caused this to happen, and then this happened. So
That's
it's
a great way to look. I wasn't looking at it like that.
We're coming into the series. They already have a long history together.
Right. Yeah.
So I get everybody's frustration. I mean, some
understand.
Some of the tweets I see, I'm like, I totally get what some people are saying.
What's like the most memorable tweet that you've read about this whole situation? If you can just put it out there.
Well, one tweet from the other night was, and it was more on a like production value, but it was like, I love Rebel, but I don't like that she's having these troubles with her husband and then running to the white savior.
Oh.
That's what it said.
I didn't even go there.
But for me, it was a black guy, you know, but I was like, you know what? I was like,
But he's like,
I get that perspective.
Here they are trying to figure out if he's white or not.
I thought he was like Latino.
Oh, no.
he's like
Mixed or
he is
Arabian.
white.
I don't know.
He's fine.
He got a tan.
Fine though.
He's kind of dark. He's like a
Italian.
he's like
tan.
dark. Like a little dark.
But he's fine though. He can be white if you want to be white. But
Like,
he's fine.
whatever.
And that's the point.
Lord.
Well,
He's
and a lot of
coming
people,
next
a lot of
week,
women
so
are
we got
like,
issues.
damn, Mac, like you are fine though. Like I'm mad at you, but you fine. Like you know.
too, but-
So you just see a lot of different. I mean, I think that was the most recent tweet that I saw that I was like, ooh. But they haven't seen the rest of the series.
Okay,
They
so
haven't
quick
episode.
question, because we haven't even gotten into the show, but there's so much because we do have so many questions for you because you're finally here. But 2 questions. So, okay, as Rebel, who would you choose between? Oh no, you can't really answer that yet. Because I wanted you to choose between Mac and TJ.
TJ.
Well, you kind of
Well,
already
Danielle.
chose, but you can't make
Well,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
Danielle.
But as Danielle, you
Who would
can
Danielle
pick.
pick?
Who would Danielle pick?
Ooh, that's
Since I can't ask who Rebel would pick, since we got to stay tuned for the show.
Well, damn, that's hard.
Uh-oh.
Better pick your husband.
I want to see if our answer is the
You
same.
better pick your husband.
This is what I think. I think.
I hope our
she
answer is
would,
the same.
I think she would. Okay, this is what I think.
Uh-oh.
If she can forgive Mac
Okay.
for shooting at her brother, and then that all coming to pass.
She going, yo.
Where's she
If
going?
she can forgive him for
Where's she
that,
going?
Then she can.
then she can forgive TJ for stealing her identity
Oh.
because
Oh.
they've had years. They've had even more years together than her and Mac.
And she
Her and Mac, right? She married him,
Yeah.
so she made a commitment to him.
Mm-hmm.
They were married before she became a police officer, so she went in. You know what I mean? So she has more history with.
That is
with,
not the answer I was expecting.
I mean,
at-
this is one thing that I feel.
But I
It's
like that
she,
answer.
Yeah, she can't.
Yeah, I like it.
She is capable. If she can
Yeah.
forgive
Right.
Mac, then she can forgive TJ. However, Mac has a very different personality
Yeah,
than TJ.
definitely.
TJ is a runner, in my opinion. TJ is a runner. He is a quitter.
Yeah.
Mac is not a quitter. Mac is a
Mhm,
I'm
fine.
gonna
He's
do
a
whatever
fine
it takes
non-quitter.
for you to forgive me. For whatever reason it might be, he's gonna do whatever it takes
Yeah.
to get Rebel to see, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Yeah.
However, TJ's ass, which is what the problem I have with him, he's a quitter.
Right.
So he did something wrong, she addressed it, and he didn't even apologize.
Yeah.
Do you
He
think
just
that
said,
he's a
I took care
quitter?
of it. This is what I say he's a quitter, because I took care of it here. Now, this is what you did to me, which she really didn't do shit to him. Excuse my language. She didn't
No,
do,
let it out. Let it out.
she
We're here.
didn't,
We
she
drink
didn't really
Ciroc.
do
We here.
anything
Yeah.
to him. She chose, which she needs to be more vulnerable, but she really didn't do anything to him. He did something to
Hold
her.
on, hold on. Yes,
Then,
she did.
Wait, hold on. She withheld
Uh-oh.
information. That's it. but she did
That's
not
it.
do.
That's it?
No, what I'm saying is she did not do something to him.
Like physically, like.
No, I mean he stole her personal information. That is actually doing something to someone.
Okay.
If somebody asks you a question and you lie, then you did something to them. However, he didn't ask a question. He didn't say, "Have you ever slept with Mac?" Until they were in the until they were in the argument. He didn't. I mean, the way it's written, he ain't check on her. He ain't been the one that's checking in about how she's doing.
You don't
with
have
her
to persuade
brother's
me with
death.
that because I'm not Team TJ,
With
so I'm
stuff
good
with her
over here.
dad,
Yeah.
he don't check in. Like he's
Getting
not
real technical.
present.
Yeah.
He's not completely present because he had a side chick. You
Right.
can't be completely present when you got another
Like
chick on the
I
side. So why I say he's a
said.
quitter is because when the stuff came down to it, and they're in the middle of this argument, he was the one that said, "So I guess this is over."
Right.
She didn't say that. She was in the middle of an argument. He gave his piece.
I know where he's
Say
coming
something.
from.
I know.
I need somebody out here.
He gave his piece. She gave her piece. And he said, it's over. And if you remember back in episode 4, Chyna was like, you're the one who left. He said, well, it's complicated, whatever. You know, and she said, but you're the one who left. And he said, oh, well, you know, there's more to the
But
story.
not only did he
that's
leave, but
twice
then he had
that
a
he's left.
side girl, and then he thought that it was cool to come back to his wife.
I believe
What he has
that.
to
I
say.
believe.
Let my man speak.
I
Yeah.
believe.
That's all I got to say.
I
I
just
wanna hear
believe
it.
Let's get a
that.
different
I don't
perspective.
believe Rebel would have been the one to be like, it's over. She would have liked an apology. She would have liked. I believe she would have liked for
Randy,
him
look at
to admit
Yeah.
his wrong. She would have liked for him to admit his wrong. Maybe they wouldn't have broke up. But he's the one that initiated the breakup.
Educate him, brother.
Uh-oh,
Educate him, brother.
uh-oh.
Educate him.
Yeah.
DeAnJilo PS is so excited to have like another.
I'm
I
always
love
excited
Rebel
to
and
have another
TJ.
man
Just
on
for the record,
Right.
I'm a Rebel and TJ. He knows because
Yeah.
I've talked to him about second season. I'm like, so how they getting back together? I'm like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna figure it out?
Yeah.
Because they need to be back together. Like that's. I mean,
Yeah.
I really am.
I
but-
just.
Wait,
Wait, I wanna know.
Yeah, hold on.
Sorry. What again?
I mean, honestly, I think she can't live without either one of them.
Mm.
And I would say
that's a
both
twist.
of those people are wrong in the situation.
Agreed.
I mean, like, there's certain words, there's certain things you can say to somebody that, I mean, it's detonation.
That's true,
It's
yeah.
over.
That's true.
So you already insulted him, telling him his credit is the same as his age.
Oh.
And then
Ooh,
you
preach.
say, I can't trust it. Well, I guess I knew I couldn't trust you from the beginning. Like,
Right.
so,
No,
She's
yeah.
those
been
are
saying
fight.
that
Those
for
are
years.
fighting.
She
Yeah.
did plenty.
Yeah, that was-
those
that
are-
was
like,
insane.
I
Yeah,
don't-
but she did a lot.
Was that not warranted
said
though?
that.
Was that response
Oh,
not warranted?
They
Yeah.
both were wrong
I
in
feel
the
you. I
situation,
feel
which is
you.
why
I feel
it
you.
makes it such a
Complicated.
dynamic.
Yeah, you
thing.
shouldn't withhold things from your spouse. However, they weren't completely back together.
Oh.
Not
But they
completely.
always together. They married.
That let me tell
She
you about this
gave him
man.
a
You
key.
ain't-
Hold
you
on,
ain't
she
not
gave him a
married
key
until
to
you get the
check
divorce
on the
papers going
place.
through.
That's what she
But
gave.
that's-
Okay,
but
but
that's
she didn't
the
give him a
thing.
key to move
That's
in.
the problem. That's the
That's
whole
the
thing.
problem.
You told him, and now I'm
Come on,
talking about you
TK.
as in Rebel.
Yeah.
You told him, like, look, get rid of the side chick, and
Right.
now we can work on it. All right, cool.
Right.
And if you're gonna work on something, that means you're
Hungry.
gonna do you're gonna do like communication. You might do something else. I know
That's
black folks don't do,
Hmm.
the psychiatrist and all that stuff, but
Right.
you should have worked on the communication. That wasn't taken
True.
care of. However, because you didn't work on communication, you guys are still doing the do.
Right.
And it's like, all right, like he's thinking I'm cool, and then you give him the key. And
Right.
it's just like, I understand you as Rebel said, okay, check on the place, but that's your husband. So it's just
Right.
like you're already giving out mixed signals. And on TJ's side of things, like, there's just so much that has gone on in the years where it's just like there's just so many communication breaks that's like you can't blame TJ and you can't blame Rebel because
Exactly.
y'all.
I agree. I agree that
the
their
foundation is off.
I agree that they're
But
both
can I still?
wrong.
But can I
do.
still say?
But
Can I
think
say
he's
just
a little bit more
one
wrong.
little thing though? The one thing that I said, I think in episode 1 or 2 was that I wanted Rebel to realize her worth because I feel like she could have made a stand to TJ to be like, well, for one, don't bring your side chick to my brother's funeral. But if we're ever going to be involved, you don't need to bring a side girl in the situation whatsoever. Because I think that is disrespectful. Because if we're going to talk about the marriage license and respecting it, he
Right.
completely disrespected it. And that's what made me mad about Rebel is that she kind of gave him a leeway to say, well, you can be over here and then you can call me and then come be with me and have a candlelight lovemaking situation over
But
here.
you can still sleep with Mac too. That was
Yeah, I
okay.
mean-
Well,
No,
she
I'm
said
not
what-
saying that is okay. What I am
Right.
saying is that if we're going to respect a marriage, you know what I'm saying, or if we're gonna respect a marriage, he doesn't need to bring anyone.
Yeah, I don't think
inside,
either. I don't think either of them respect the marriage. I don't
right.
think,
That's true.
It's
I
not
think
even they don't respect.
it's
marriage.
just that they're separated.
Both of them have
But when
made
they were
so
separated,
many mistakes
right.
that have not been addressed,
Right.
and
Right,
that's
right.
what they're still trying to deal with.
Exactly.
And Rebel, I think the difference is Rebel slept with Mac because it was something.
It was
to
just
do.
something
But wait,
Yeah.
were you guys
Yeah.
separated though?
Yeah,
When
we
you
were
slept-
separated. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I feel like and both of you guys are wrong. I'll say that, but I think the difference is that was clearly like a hookup situations versus
Not
TJ
a
was like,
move in
"This
together,
is
be
my
my
girl.
girlfriend."
Like you're
Yeah.
moving in
I
with
agree
me."
with
And then it's not like Rebel was initiating
But I guess
them being involved together. TJ was the one going over there and putting himself in a situation for you guys to be involved.
Well,
correct?
my question though is, how is she giving mixed signals? And this is why I say this.
I don't agree that
Okay.
she
This is why I say this, because when they're in the bed,
Right.
the reason why he wants to check on the place, it's not as genuine as him wanting to check on a place. He is already thinking something's
About
going on
something,
with Mac.
With Mac.
So his
He
reason
knows.
for so
Yeah.
his reason
He's right.
for
Firstly,
No, he wasn't. He wasn't right. Mac happened to be there when she got the call saying that she was
Yeah,
drugged
because
with
they weren't dating
triathlon.
like that.
Right.
They weren't
Mac
together like
happened to
that.
be
But there's
there.
always been bad blood.
So
between
here-
them.
Right.
Between
Right,
them,
right,
but
right.
it's not like Rebel was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna mess with Mac on the side
Right.
and get back with my husband."
Right.
That wasn't it. He happened to be there when she had a weak moment,
And she had it in her mind that she was separated
he
from her
wasn't.
husband.
Here's
He
the
wasn't.
question.
He wasn't far. He wasn't far off though. The fact that y'all had y'all spat and immediately the night after
not
you
even
at the
night,
bar.
that
The
same
night
day.
during the night you go to the bar with him.
Okay,
like
so
he's not
no,
far
wait,
off.
so time out.
If nothing
Here's
physically
time
has
out,
happened,
though. No, I have a
emotionally
question.
everything has
I have a
happened.
question.
Well, they have a friend.
I have a question. So if you're going through something like that and you know that you have a little friend, on the side,
course
you can
you're
just
gonna call
call.
him. Of
You're not
course.
gonna call that person
course
if you
not.
guys are going.
No.
Are you guys? If
No,
you guys are,
I would,
Okay.
but you gotta at least admit that there's
Okay.
a thing.
Here's
there.
my question
Yeah.
to you
All
as,
right.
as a married woman.
Yes,
So how long you been married for?
10 years.
10 years. So when you're in your relationship, I'm guessing because you seem like you have your ish together that you guys are on the same path because you guys discussed this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Not like, okay, well I'm going to do this I'm going to do my acting thing and your husband finds out later on. And I feel, you know what I'm saying? So I feel
But
like
me and my husband have never been separated. We
Right.
lived every day together.
right.
And I'm not going to say that I've never kept a secret from my husband, because I have.
Right, that happens.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
no,
I'm a
it's
human
marriage.
being and
Right.
I've done it.
Exactly.
And then he
Yeah.
either has found out about it and I had to, or he hasn't found out about it, and I hope he don't. Like,
Oh.
or whatever.
Don't watch
Don't listen to
YouTube.
this
Don't watch
episode.
YouTube.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, babe, don't
I
watch
know,
this
right?
episode
I'm
tonight.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Not anything deep, but I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
like, there's certain things you do as a person, and you're like, you know what? I don't think my spouse can handle this, and maybe I shouldn't have done it. Maybe I should
I
have
mean,
put
I have
myself
heard a
in that.
saying, men can't know everything. I've heard that
Yeah,
saying.
maybe I shouldn't have put myself in this
But
position
it's a
because
people thing.
TJ would have been pissed if he'd have found out that she went to that bar by herself and he'd have got himself all wrapped up in it. So whatever her reasons were, she's like, he can't handle that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm not telling him because he can't handle it.
I
Or
just-
that's what she thinks.
I just
I
felt like
agree.
they didn't start the relationship
You're right.
on that path.
Sure.
They started thinking like TJ probably thought he was, he fell in love with her in the military and he thought, she's cute, whatever, and it was almost like a protective thing.
Right.
And they didn't, when they got back, they didn't have a solid road.
Well, the
so-
thing is, they had a common denominator, which was war.
Yeah.
So they were both
Fighting
fighting
together.
Yeah.
war
You have a common
together.
enemy.
A
Right.
common
Right.
enemy, right? So then when you get back to the States, we talked about this.
It's
the other
like
day
a
on
different
panel.
it's a different
It's
situation.
like you're still at war. Now you're just at war
with
with
each
each
other.
other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that if they were, there was never, he said, hey, I broke up with Tarsha. But there was never a time, then all of a sudden she gets roofied. So it's not even, she couldn't even really consummate the fact that they were actually getting back
Like,
together and
right.
try, because
Yeah.
she has this stuff on her chest that she is not trying to show nobody. She also didn't tell Chyna
Right.
until it was already gone, and then she lied to Chyna when she said, she was like, nobody knows about it. Well, Mac knows about it,
Right.
but she can't tell Chyna that Mac knows about it because Chyna gonna be like, how you gonna tell Mac before me?
Right.
And then she gonna have to explain, well, he just happened to be there and I was high.
Yeah.
and drinking and high. When I told, you know what I mean? I just feel like there's just so many.
There's a lot.
It's like
Yeah.
black people need some
Layers to
psychiatrists.
it.
and-
Y'all, we could talk
it
about
out.
the relationship
could.
tip all day,
Right.
but
We
we
did.
have to we have to dedicate some time at least to the actual episode that occurred this week. There is so much that happened, and I think the most monumental thing is how this episode opens, which is Mac and his brother Jimmy, who I'm not a fan of. I'm just not that you guys care, but I'm just going to put that out there. And Sheena and Rebel, they all look at the tape that Charles gave Rebel, and I was still kind of looking forward to seeing Charles in this episode, but he kind of dipped out. So maybe in the finale, maybe we can see like what he's up to. But yeah, how do you think that was for Rebel to watch that tape with Jimmy
Yeah.
and Mac? You know, like how do you think that she? Because it's one thing to see the tape by yourself, and then to see it with people that, you know,
People
were
involved, yeah.
involved. How do you think?
Right. Well, knowing Rebel, she's watched the tape 1,000 times.
Right.
So by the time she was watching it with Jimmy and all them, she had already watched it 500 times.
Because I didn't like how Jimmy tried to protect Mac, you know, when that whole thing was going on, and I just thought, you know, the bar scene was just such a racist.
But
It
can I
was,
say
but
something
still
about
his
Jimmy
brother.
being a racist? Jimmy doesn't like her, right? And so when you don't like somebody, you say
the worst things you
the
can.
worst things you can. So that's what that is. It's not that he's necessarily a racist, and it's not necessarily that he's a bad guy. I mean, like, and what that scene shows you, they're putting together a new Scooby gang. You know what I mean? She completely exonerated him in the car. She realized he's not involved.
Right.
But what her
That's all she really cares
her
about.
main point
Right.
is finding out what happened to her brother, and if
But
he
the-
can help her, then it's
She's
like
gonna use
I'm
him to help her.
But the story that was told by Mac about what had happened to him and Jimmy, I guess, as kids, and how because of that, it kind of developed for them to have this extra, I don't know, protective
Yeah.
skin against people of color. I guess after that, I kind of took it as, you know, maybe he is like a tad bit racist. But what do you think is the core reason that he doesn't like Rebel? Like, what is it?
He's
Is
mad.
it
I think he. I don't,
jealous of the bond that
No, I think he's closed-minded a little. He's a closed-minded person. Anybody,
Okay.
even when you're pissed off, if you're not a racist or you don't have these kind of ideals, they're not going to come out of your mouth if they're not there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I feel like I wouldn't call him a full-fledged
not
racist.
full blown, but just
Yeah, but
this is
he's-
like
yeah.
20%.
But we got,
Yeah.
but we got
Prejudice.
people in our
Yeah.
own family. That
Oh, yeah.
use words.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely,
and you don't even
absolutely.
check your family member. You
But
like,
do they say it to them in their
Right.
face?
Right.
No, but like she
But
said,
that's
I
their
think if you can
relationship.
say it,
Right.
there's a little bit of that there if you can
Yeah.
say
See,
it.
I'm
That
not
can come out
saying
of your
he's a
mouth
full-blown
and
racist,
something
but
in
I'm
there.
saying he's
Yeah.
had experiences. Yeah, that caused prejudice. So when he gets mad at Rebel for shooting his brother, I think that's the reason why he was mad at her. Earlier in the pilot, he's like, "Hey, you should have been my partner instead." Like,
Yeah.
you know. But when that happens, he's like, "I protect my brother at all
Yeah,
costs."
family
and
first.
Your brother shouldn't have been out there with a gun. Like, that's what he gets. Like, some people really have that mind. They really
Yeah.
have that
Yeah,
mindset.
that
And that
protective,
blue,
yeah.
that blue is right. Blue
Yeah.
is the first loyalty you should have. People really believe
And if
that.
anything, this television show has really exposed that for me.
Yeah.
And it's a little disturbing to me because we do trust them to take care of the community, and to even think that there are cops that, not all cops, so don't come for me, but just like there are cops that have this, like, no matter what, I'm protecting, you know, my blue brotherhood. It's just a little,
I think with
it's kind
Jimmy,
of
it just
disturbing.
takes it to another level because there's
Yeah.
the blue brotherhood and then there's an actual brotherhood. Like, that's
Right.
his brother. So
Right.
that loyalty and that protectiveness is going to be there no matter what.
And Rebel knows that, and I think Rebel don't give a damn about Jimmy
don't.
or about what he says about her.
and
She
that's
could
probably
care
why he
less.
doesn't like her, because
Yeah.
she's a
Right.
strong,
Yeah, she don't
articulate
care.
African American female
Why
who
don't
speaks her
why
mind.
do,
He
why do
can't
people
get to
hate
her.
on the strong and articulate African American female? Why
threatening.
It
can't
may
we
not
be
even be
great?
African American female. It may be a strong female. It may
Right.
be
Yes.
gender more before you
Yeah.
go race.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I just with Jimmy for Rebel, it is what do I need to do to get the job done?
Exactly.
All
And
this
that's why I
being in your
respect her, 'cause-
feelings, like
Right.
being
Yeah.
in your
I don't
feelings
have
and all
time for
that,
that. Say,
keep-
okay,
it
next.
keeps you from succeeding
Right.
in general in life.
Yeah.
Get out your feelings and do what needs to be done to get what you need to get done.
Just do
and
it.
I think she's a great example of that.
A
She's
great
like,
example.
Well, yeah, do I like Jimmy as a person?
No.
But is he involved with what happened to my brother?
Yes.
No,
No.
he's not.
No,
he
he's
wasn't.
not.
He wasn't there.
He
He wasn't
wasn't
one of the people
involved.
that
Well, not
shot,
like
but
it,
no,
right.
but
But
right.
now,
Right. So she's like, okay, now I know for
For sure.
that he wasn't involved. So
Nah,
he
I could
can, right? So he can be a
Like,
part.
I'm on your side now.
And I know he works in the police department. He's close with Vaughn. Of course, I'm gonna bring him
And he's a
into.
good detective.
He's
Right.
a good detective.
He wants the truth.
Yeah.
More than
Right.
anything.
He
They have a
wants the
common
truth.
enemy now
and
too.
speaking
Yeah.
of that, which is a great segue, of course, watching every episode, you think that Texas is the
Top dog.
he's like the top dog, and then come to find out that it's actually Vaughn. And not only is Vaughn the top dog, but he's like recruiting cops at the same time in the police force to kind of be in on the situation. And we also thought that Brim was kind of a key player too, but he was not. And him and his homeboy, they kind of get involved by not really, like, were they really trying to get involved, or like, was it purposely done that they were getting involved, or did they kind of lead into like a situation when they were
Where they fell upon it. 'Cause-
Yeah, where they fell
No,
upon
they-
it.
They also fell
They
upon
thought they
it.
got made.
They thought that-
Cops
right,
thought they
right.
got made.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
why they went after Malik.
Right.
Right.
But the whole scam is, and this is something not really ripped from the headlines, but it's something that was happening in the city of Chicago, where the police were taking people off the street and taking them to stash houses.
Wow.
And beating them up. And we just flipped that a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Um,
Brim
There
and
you
them
go.
are regular neighborhood
Just
hustlers.
hustlers.
Right.
That's trying to get a come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the cell phones was their come
Right.
up. You know what I mean? And what Texas does is he is basically a snitch for the cops. He tells them who's doing what on the streets.
Right.
They kidnap them. They take their stash. You know what I mean? So that's why they kidnapped Brim at the top of this episode. We found out it was really about the cell phone.
Yeah.
And the whole killing of Malik was the cops thought that they made Brim when they tried to snatch him the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Well,
deep.
there is, yeah, it
A lot of
is-
layers.
There's so many, and that's what I was telling Randy. Like, you cannot miss a beat. I literally looked down for 2 seconds and looked up, and there was a whole Vaughn, Texas had been killed, and I was like, I was just looking at the TV screen. But I do want to ask you this though. You have 2 sons, and I really loved, I thought it was so creative how the writers kind of incorporated that authentic scene with Brim's son in you. How was that? Were you even acting in that situation? Because I'm sure you do that all the time,
Yeah,
right?
You know, it's so funny because he's the cutest little kid ever.
He
Like,
is.
super cute, super well spoken, like very polite, and I have this habit of saying the S word when I mess up. Like if I mess up a line or something, I'm like, shh. And I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. Like I don't even curse in front of my own kids, you know. So I was like, baby, I'm sorry, forgive me, you know. But it was easy. He was such a sweet kid, you know. And I do have 2 sons, and I mean, if they were here, if my 6-year-old was here, I mean, my kids love me to death. But at home, I'm like, pick that up. What you doing? Sit down.
But do you know all the
What?
character
Like,
names in
you know-
real life? Do you know all of their toy names in real life? Like, do you just keep
Oh
track?
no.
Oh no, you're just like, it's just a toy, like pick it up, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, as far as cartoons and stuff, like
You got
I
it
mean,
down
I
pat?
literally can sing every
Really?
every cartoon song
Everything.
because they listen to Ghostbusters
A
and
billion times.
and Ninja Turtles and Mickey Mouse. So that's what I don't know anything about Transformers really, but I do know everything about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Like,
Okay.
I know the entire theme song. Probably every episode I know. So I just kind of connected, like, okay, like I can connect to Transformers because I can connect to my kids loving, loving something, so much. And, it just made me happy that he was a little boy and he looked like he could be related to me. Like, he's adorable.
It was probably more, and I think, keep watching, but it was more connected
To Malik.
to Malik.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she was a maternal figure for her brother.
Right.
She was really
There
a
were so
parent for
many
him.
layers, man.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I really love that scene because that you bring up a great point because not only do you have a brother on the show, but then you're a mom in real life, and
Right.
it's just, and then I like how you kind of incorporated the toy names with the
Right.
different people, and so it made him comfortable to
to tell you.
speak.
And to me, I love this scene because what it does for Rebel is they've done a great job of just humanizing her, like more and
Yeah.
more and more making her more vulnerable, making her more of a person that you're like, I know that person, And when you can connect with children, like they always say, if a kid don't want to talk to you,
There's a
you don't like
problem.
them, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So I think that the boy opening up to her like that shows the purity of heart
Yeah.
that Rebel does have. Like with all the flaws that she might have and things her relationship she can't figure out, there's a purity, in her, and I think I love it because I think that it translates to our own lives.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
most of us, you know, with all the things that we've done that are wrong, that we shouldn't have done, that are horrible. If somebody put a spotlight into your personal life, the things you think, the things you've done, the secrets you've kept, none of us would be able to stay in the room.
We're all flawed.
Right.
Yeah, we would
Right.
sneak out. We would be so embarrassed. But the truth of the matter is, with all the flaws, with all the things that we've done, when you have a pure heart, you can still be a good person and have done the wrong thing and
Yeah.
still be a good person.
Shout out to Terry Copp for
Yeah.
writing that scene.
Yeah.
She co-wrote the episode with me.
That
That
is-
was her scene.
Right.
Such a good scene. It was
And that's also the beauty of the writers' room and how diverse it is, and that there's white people in the you know, writers.
Yeah,
There's a
for
white
sure.
man, there's a white woman, there's two black women.
Yeah.
You know, they wrote on a lot of different
The
things.
showrunner is an African
Right,
American
the
male
show-
writing about a
African-American
female.
male. Yeah,
That's
and
dope.
then the assistant writer, she was like an Asian woman,
Yeah.
like, and so you bring
Very
so many
diverse.
different people's perspectives to life, you know, in that room, and you're like, oh, things that being from Detroit or being from Sacramento in the hood, I would have never even thought of, but Terry would
Yeah.
think, you know, would think of, you know, and so I think that's what makes it a well-rounded
Sure.
experience.
I think another part that really humanized Rebel was when Brim was like out and she's like doing CPR and
yes,
the
that's a
flashback to
great
Malik,
scene. That's a
like,
great scene.
I guess her in that moment not giving up because
giving
of how
up.
she lost Malik was like something that really like I like the way that was cut. That was like really
Yeah.
and the fact that he came back was cool. Like
She's a
you know.
fighter.
Yeah, she's a fighter.
Yeah, and
She
then
exactly.
wasn't giving up.
She wasn't
Like,
giving-
like,
and
I
do you
can't
know-
lose this one. Like
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
And what I really liked about that scene, though, was that Mac and Jimmy were there to see it. Like, there was something,
Yes.
I don't know what I felt when he did come back and they were there to see it. And the look on Mac's face, like, wow, you know? I just feel like there was so much spoken without really having to say anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I was the only one that caught that, but
No, yeah, without
Yeah.
yeah,
Trying to get some.
I loved it. And then
He's gonna try to get some now.
Oh.
She say somebody's live.
Let me get on in this party.
Yeah, let
Really
me try to get on.
Crazy.
No, Mac.
Right, back up.
That
and
literally was the clue they needed. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the clue they needed.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, if he would have
Practical.
died,
Yeah, everything's out the window.
Malik, they
oh,
would have
when you
never.
put- yeah.
If he would have died, they would have never found out who did it,
Yeah.
or it would have taken something
Yeah.
else.
Something else.
You're right.
You know, it would take much longer. It's taken 13
Yeah.
episodes.
It was interesting because what you guys liked was a big fight in editing between John and myself. Because I was like,
Really?
you
The
don't
flashback?
need it. Yeah, the flashback.
Yes.
Like, you don't need it.
And I'm like, you do need the flashback.
We
I'm like,
know
you have to
who
have the
she's
flashback.
fighting for.
Yeah.
But it actually worked. And that
It
just
did.
speaks to the
Yeah.
collaborative process.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it
It added value.
dramatizes.
It
And
added
you
definitely-
haven't
Yeah.
seen, and you have not seen Malik in
In a while,
several
yeah.
Right.
Episodes.
Yeah.
It definitely
Yeah.
adds
So
value.
you
for
need to
sure.
remember, for those of, if just in case anybody forgot what this whole thing is about,
Right.
Yeah.
it's about
It's
Malik.
about that
great
moment.
That's what it's about. you
And
know?
then it allows the viewers to kind of reenact that hurt with her because you see her in pain holding her brother
Right.
like, no, this can't be happening.
Right.
So then for it to go back to Brim
Right.
and how determined she is, like,
Yeah.
you know, the viewer automatically is like, you need to wake
Yeah,
up.
because there's some people that could have been like, well, why is she trying so hard to save him? Like she thought that he,
Right, like he did. Like, let him,
you know,
let
she
him
had,
go.
she had a gun to his head in
Yeah.
episode 5.
Right, so why she care so much?
Right, so why does she care so much? You know, and she does care about him because this is the cool thing about hood relationships is I will beat
Educated.
you down one minute and then invite you over to eat with my family the next
Yeah.
day, just as long as we got it straight. That
Yeah.
you better not ever do that to me again. Like that's how the hood is.
Right.
So Brim is like a brother to her.
Yeah.
Like she's known him forever. He probably had a crush on her, like growing up.
Sure.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even in the pilot, you kind of see it. You know, and
Yeah.
so he's like a brother to her. But with all this stuff that's happened with Malik, she don't know who to trust. you know?
Right.
So I was happy that they kind of brought that relationship.
Yeah,
kinda
that was a really,
together.
thank you for bringing that up. That was a really good scene. We literally have 1 minute left. So what we're going to do is we're going to do predictions. And are we getting, okay, so I'll just.
Your
oh.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You kept talking, so I was like, do I play it?
I was waiting on you. I was waiting on you.
I got you.
But you know, me and you, Mark, we've worked together on so many shows. Mark, we flow together. Okay, so predictions, Randy. This is your first time taking part in this. So basically,
But he knows what's going to happen.
basically, like
watch
what we do is we go around and we pretty much say what we think is going to happen. And since you know what's going to happen, you just have the pleasure of sitting here and
You got to keep a poker face.
you have to,
on whether
you have to
we're
keep a
right or
poker
wrong.
face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
I
t-
just
or
smile
tell
the
us
whole
we're
time.
right. I like to know I'm right.
You have to
do
keep a
that too.
poker face. So yeah, I'm gonna open the table. Lynneisha, you wanna go?
Well, I think Brian Markey, the cop that Brim noticed when he took his mask off when they kidnapped him, he's gonna flip really quickly and tell him Vaughn. Like that's not even gonna be an issue to get that information out of him. He's gonna flip like that. So they're gonna be able to get Vaughn right away. In the season finale, hopefully they can take him down, or at least they get the information to begin to take him down.
Oh, he winked at me, fam.
Oh.
I mean, you were studying me.
I was.
He acknowledged that you existed in the moment. That's all.
And I feel like now we're gonna see Rebel being a badass more like in the beginning of the beginning of the season.
Yeah, when she whipped everybody's ass.
Oh my God! This one she was shooting at the van and then she
It was sexy too. It was like boom, 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 pow.
So,
yeah, we need a little of that.
Yeah. So we're gonna see some more of that, some more of her fighting and shooting next episode.
Yeah. So my prediction, with the knowledge that I have that
can't de-hang
Jeff Bird is directing this, I'm going to say that a lot of stuff is going to blow up in this episode. And that's my prediction.
Very funny.
That's
that is really
funny. Very funny.
That's my guess.
His nickname on our show is
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
I know.
So that is very funny.
Hilarious.
So shout out to Jeff Bird.
Love Jeff.
Yeah.
Ooh, gosh, I hope TJ comes back because I do like Method Man.
Don't we
But that's
all?
just personal.
I love
That's
him.
right,
He's
she
funny.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I love me some Brandon too. He's like,
he's gonna be on next
So win-win
week.
for
So,
you.
yeah.
We have to calm down before he comes on the
Brandon
show.
is coming next week.
Calm down.
oh, is he good?
Yeah.
We have to hold it together. You
We
can't be.
Anyways, I hope TJ comes back, but I definitely see because of the previews, Vaughn is gonna Brand's gonna flip. Vaughn's gonna be pissed off and he's gonna be on the run for a little bit, and the first person he wants to take off is Rebel. And like I agree with you, more guns, more beating up, blowing up some stuff. Like it's just
down.
I love seeing that because you see everybody else gets to do it. Like Tyrese got to do it in Fast and Furious. Everybody else gets to do it, but you don't see black women doing that. Like a little bit of Vivica back in the day,
A little bit.
but now like you have everything. Like you're the lead, you got it. Like blow up some stuff.
Yes,
Kill
lead.
some people,
Come on, lead.
just like do all
push
that
through
stuff,
lead.
and you
Another
look good while doing it.
Right? Yes.
So I hope it's a fro. Like I can already envision it. So,
Tim Boots. I hope Tim Boots. I hope she like kicks somebody in the face.
Like, look,
Some Tim Boots. Yeah, that's what I need. Look, I need
white
that.
beater.
If that didn't happen, put it in the next season.
I love it.
He's like, these people are.
My prediction is that Mac is coming on the show for next week.
Oh my God.
And we like to stay professional here on this
Okay.
show.
And he's also
We're
married.
gonna try.
So-
We're gonna try to keep our morals.
Notice I'm hitting on Mac, the character, and not the real person.
Fair.
What?
that's a
My
good way
prediction.
to do
She is kind.
good.
She
That
is
was
smart.
nice.
She's
is
important.
Yes.
Yeah, so my prediction, there's a lot going on and I just don't even know where to start. So I you know what I'm saying? Because you should have seen me watching the show. I was asking Randy, like, okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F,
Like she had an
literally,
exam right
like,
after.
I'm so glad that we don't get tested after shows because I would have failed with flying colors. I'm just gonna guess one thing that's easily predictable to me, which is that Vaughn is just gonna be totally outed and maybe
Is he gonna die to you, or you think he's gonna be dead, or is he gonna?
No, I think he's gonna be taken in. I think he's gonna be taken in, as he should be, and and I think that Mac is gonna like come in on this white horse, right, with these flowers, like Pretty Woman,
The white
and
savior.
like
A great
yes,
white hope,
like
great
you know
white
the
hope.
scene, yes, like, you know the scene on Pretty Woman at the end. If you have not seen Pretty Woman, that's a problem. But
I saw
at
it
the end,
weeks ago and it was terrible.
it's like
terrible.
well, that's one of my favorite movies.
shit.
Now
So-
getting saved. I'm like, dude.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Like,
But
not where I'm from.
Yeah. It's an American
been
thing.
winning.
But we're not here to hate on Pretty Woman. We're here to say my
They have an
prediction is that he's gonna come in on this limo, right, at the end, just like Pretty Woman. He's gonna have these roses, and then Rebel is gonna be like on like the stair, on like the ladder situation. She's gonna be waiting for him, and like her natural hair is gonna be like, "Ah, I'm here,
natural hair.
and they're gonna like realize because her hair is bomb in the show,
Let's-
and then
let's be
like they're
real.
just gonna realize that they're just made for each other. And then TJ's gonna be like sitting, like looking up, like, and that's gonna be the end of the
Like a
show.
sniper.
Right, like, yeah.
TJ ain't
Look,
gonna-
TJ
TJ ain't gonna be. He not gonna be standing looking.
happen.
Oh, yeah,
Come on now.
he's not.
Nah, come on.
Can I
Come
make
on
one
now.
prediction? Can I make a
Sure.
prediction?
Yeah. What's your
Let's
prediction?
do it.
What you got?
Prediction.
What you got?
Put your
I
acting face on.
predict all 4 of y'all gonna jump out of your seat when you see next week.
Yes.
All right.
I
okay.
predict the same thing. I predict y'all gonna be like,
We're gonna have a live video.
But wait,
We're
you
gonna
know
record
what?
it live.
We actually already had that moment because not this episode, but the last when DeAnJilo, what did you throw? You got
That
up-
was the last episode when TJ was whipping his ass.
Oh yeah.
DeAnJilo.
Oh, yeah.
He
He
was
I wasn't
like,
like,
good. He was like,
no. I wasn't like, what? I was like, yeah. I was
yeah,
like,
he was like,
That was something
and then he spit on him afterwards. I was like,
D'Angelo was
that's right.
That was so.
Okay.
I was on with
Yeah.
that.
that was
on
a
with
great
that.
reveal. And I mean, I know what happens, but watching it, I was like, oh, this is so great. Like, you really don't really know it. You don't know that
Yeah.
it's TJ, and then he just slowly raises up. You're like,
But that
I was hoping
that
it.
scene, we're running out of time, but I have to say, like we said in the last show, that scene was so, girl, I love when men get authoritative and they kind of put you in your
I was like, fight.
It's a win-win for her. She,
Right.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
fight no matter what.
And then he
People
like,
I'm
there's
Re-
something,
Hold on, reenact that for me again.
When we were shooting it, I was like, I said, after TJ left, he was like, now this shit is over. He leaves, and I was like, get your ass up off the ground.
I love that. I love
Getting your
that.
ass whipped. I gotta clean you up, man.
Let him whoop your butt like that. You can't protect me.
Now that would have been real.
But Mac
That
lost
should've
the
been
battle, but
Yeah.
he won the war.
Yeah,
He
no
won
doubt.
Oh,
So far,
he
so
can
far.
win.
Right,
He
so
can
far.
win.
So
Matt
far,
can
so
win
far.
my war too.
Oh, my
All right now.
All right,
But
Brenda
you know
Field.
what though? It's just something about a guy, a good-looking man in like a sweatsuit outfit, and when he turned around, and he was like, "It's over." I would have been like, "No, it's not."
Right.
Getting real
Right.
specific.
But he said, now this shit is over. I was like, why
Right.
you gotta
I would've
sound
been like-
like that?
I like it.
Like, why you gotta say it like that?
Right.
Some more.
Can you like be meaner?
It's like a turn on, you know?
Coming off a little
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah. Like, don't
Fix
control
that.
me, but there's something about a man that takes the lead like that. Like control me, tell me I'm wrong. Let me know that this
But you
was
can
wrong.
see in that moment,
Bring them back
Rebel,
together.
she loves TJ. Like,
Yeah,
she
of
really
course.
does.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
she's in love with him. She would never do anything to hurt him. And she was just like,
It's a
she
huge
immediately
mistake,
put
yeah.
her gun away.
Trying to get the keys.
Right. I was just trying to get the keys. She wasn't trying to kiss Mac for real. She was drunk.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, she was drunk, and that was the only way she could. He wasn't
Because
gonna
she called the Uber, right?
She
mhm.
wasn't gonna
Yeah.
give him.
That's what she
He wasn't gonna
Alright.
give her
That's
the
what she
keys.
convinced
Sat
herself.
home and
Well,
watched
look,
Pretty Woman
alright.
by herself.
Yeah.
She worked it all
Well,
out.
you know what?
I got to shout out to Rebel Writers for
Yes.
that. And
Yes.
also,
Yes.
shout out Rebel Writers making you jump out of your seat.
Yes,
Yeah.
Next episode.
week.
I can't
I wish
wait.
I'm gonna have to call in. Y'all got no.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll get you.
Oh.
We'll get you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna be in New York, but I might have to call in.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have to like.
Do you have
know
Skype?
what you guys think. Oh yeah,
Oh,
my
well,
Yeah.
computer.
we can Skype you in.
We're gonna do that.
Well, Mac, you
We're gonna
know.
hold you to that now.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say, Mark?
I said we could do a regular phone call too.
We
Yeah,
want to
that's
see
what I
her
want to see her.
face. We
Skype
need
is
her
better,
face.
so-
7,
Yeah.
that'll be what, 10?
We'll make it
that
work.
time? I can
Yeah.
do that.
And you know, and Mac, I'm really trying to, you know, she wasn't trying to kiss you. I mean, I am. You know
Oh,
what I'm
my
saying? You just
goodness.
gotta be real
We are so
people. You know what I'm saying?
professional in this show.
Anyway,
Brandon's like my
next.
brother. It was very weird.
it was, yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, you know, I'm so sad that this show has to come to an end. We are at that time. Thank you so much, Danielle and Randy, for coming
Yes,
by.
yes, yes.
You guys have become like I don't know, I've bonded with all of you guys. I love
I
supporting
love
the
you
show. The
guys.
writers are amazing
Yes.
and just the cast and just, I just love it. And I'm so proud of you. I know we just met, but I feel like because of theater, we have there's like a bond there. So I'm proud of you. Keep going.
Thank
I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you. And as a married woman, don't keep secrets from your spouse. It's
Thank
not
you.
a good
Wow.
thing.
That needed
Not
to be
even
said.
marriage,
That
just
needs
a
to be said.
And
relationship.
relationships and
Yeah.
friendships.
That needed to be
Stay
said.
open
Yes.
as much as you can.
Ain't
God
nobody,
is good.
nobody gonna hear that part of the show.
Right.
So they have to watch the whole show.
Right. That's
so-
at the end.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at the Ava Hill.
And you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33. And make sure you guys hit up, comment everything for Rebel, #Rebel on BET, and #Renew Rebel. We want to see it back.
Season 2.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. And make sure to tweet Danielle and tell her to choose TJ. Now hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. I'm at DeAnJilo.
You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. We love your comments. We love your tweets. iTunes, 5 stars or better, or don't put anything at all. And other than that, that's it for me.
All right, Danielle, before we go, Danielle, Randy, where can they find you on social media?
Danielle Moné Truitt on both Instagram and Twitter.
Twitter, TV's Randy Huggins or Rebel_Writers.
And we're going to get that Instagram going for Randy as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week.
Deuces. Deuces.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Your AfterBuzz TV.